Hello there, my friends. From time to time, I like to start the video with about the system, for future reference, so you can see which version of Haiku this was on. Now, one day we'll be in Haiku R2, R3, and this will all be very quaint and antiquarian. But for now, you can just have a look and see how old was the revision that this was made on. Right, we are still working our way through the preferences. And the next one to go through is network. Now my emulated virtual machine here has an emulated hardwired Ethernet connection. And if you can, just get yourself a wired connection, it always just works. No passwords, no nothing. Right, at the future stage we'll make a video about connecting to Wi-Fi. It's actually fairly easy. You will see over here, somewhere in the desk bar, there'll be the list of the available Wi-Fi networks, and you click on one and put in your password, and generally it'll start working. But I don't have a simulated Wi-Fi card in this virtual machine, so I can't show you that here. Right, what else can you change here? This 192 blah 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 blah, that is really just my router. It's how I get the internet here at home. One thing, an old Linux trick actually, 8.8.8.8, add that one, and then 0.4.4, add that one too, and take this one and move it down. Now 8.8.8.8 and 8.8.4.4 are Google's DNS servers, and if those go down, then we've reached the end of civilization. The zombies have taken over, and nobody will need to worry about obscure operating systems anymore. But they are very fast, very reliable. So if I put this in on any operating system I use. Domain, you don't really need that. Right, FTP server. I'm sure we'll get around to that at some stage. FTP is a bit dated by now, but if you enable this, then you'll be able to FTP into this machine and get files either way. You can put them on the machine, you can extract them from the machine. We don't need it on this one. Host name shredder, that is just the default name. It gets put in there by, I don't know, some Haiku dev with a sense of humor. I think wasn't that the name of the bad guy in the Ninja Turtles or something like that? Right, SHA server. That's similar to FTP server, and this one is on by default. Not entirely sure why. And a telnet server. Wow, telnet, that really takes you back. It still exists. There's this thing where you can type in a telnet address, and it shows you the whole original Star Wars film in ASCII art. Maybe I'll show you someday. It's been running for decades. So these are fairly obscure settings for most of you. Here, show network status in deskbar. I strongly suggest you leave that on. That is this little replicant here. So as you can see, you'll have to look very closely, but this little dot here is green, and if there's no connection, it'll turn yellow, and I think it can turn red in some circumstances. I'm not sure about that. Okay, so once more, once you got this running, once you have your Ethernet connection set up and you got your Wi-Fi, the one, the connections that you use all the time, up and running, then you never really need to look at this again. And that is